Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Tuesday morning episode of the NLBC News. Your one-stop shop for VTubing, gaming, tech science, and technology news, where you see me read some of the most important stories of the week and butcher all of the words. Today we have some very exciting news stories, as always. And here goes the murder. I didn't do my my tongue twister practice this morning, so this is going to be just peachy, Pray for me, everybody. Gonna take a sip of water. So, our first story today comes from paleontology, and it's terrifying. Earth's largest sharks use nurseries for their offsprings. Child Protective Services express concerns about unhealthy conditions for shark children. The Megalodon is a shark that is thought to conservatively measure 15 meters, about 50 feet, in length and weigh about 1.5 metric tons. To put that size into perspective, a tractor-trailer is approximately 20 meters, 70 feet in length, though the Megalodon weighs about as much as an SUV. Despite the terrifying thought of the existence of these sharks, Megalodons have had to be babies once. While you think one of the largest predators to ever exist might birth their children in the pits of hell and make them fight each other to the death, it seems baby Megalodons got quite the posh treatment growing up. Paleontologists from the University of Valencia in Spain and the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom have found a large quantity of small Megalodon teeth in 2 quarries located in northeastern Spain. Comparing the teeth to full-grown Megalodons, it was concluded that these teeth belonged to the predator's offsprings. Through this find, the paleontologists concluded that Megalodon babies were born in nurseries, most likely shallow parts of the ocean where prey were plentiful so the baby sharks could grow up safely. It is quite the surprise to see adult Megalodons giving their children such posh treatment, but hey, I guess even prehistoric Earth has soccer moms. I'm sure they drive minivans. The Department of Child Services in the US has released a report, however, questioning the ethicalness of all of these nurseries. Did they get the proper permits, and were the nurseries kept to code? Well, we can't exactly ask extinct sharks, but I mean, look at these Megalodons. Do you think they look like the type of creatures to keep their babies in hazardous conditions? Well, if they did, they probably would eat anyone who came near enough to complain, so yeah. While we do not have any historical evidence as to what these nurseries might have looked like, we at the laboratory have found some concept art of what might have occurred in these nurseries millions of years ago. So this picture here, we can see, this is quite nice. All the little baby sharks are happy, swimming along the coral. They got plenty of other fishies in the background to eat. You see, they're very happy, very happy. Must have been a very good place indeed. The next one, we can even see that the baby sharks were very close to other seafaring creatures. Here we can see a cat or a fox riding a baby shark. It's lovely. These sharks were having a grand old time. We have a few more here, meow. Oh, Tony, this is the wrong picture. This is not the right picture. Next one, please. Tony, no. What is that woman even doing? Lady, what are you doing in that shark's mouth? That is not safe. Tony, next one. Get the other folder. Just move on. Yes, here we go. See two baby sharks enjoying some broccoli, some tomato and carrots. With a little bit of lemon wedge in there. Meow. It's okay. Yep, that wasn't supposed to happen. So, yes, it was probably quite pleasant indeed. It's quite pleasant indeed. Let's move on to the next story. Meow. In more exciting news, giant robots seen in Japan spurs hope for tourism after the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Weebs flock in droves as they begin their pilgrimage to Mecca. It seems the Japanese are obsessed with robots, but that just means they keep producing some of the most amazing technology ever seen by man, meow. As if mechanical wolves to combat bears weren't enough, Japan has turned its robotic expertise towards the tourist industry, meow. Ever wanted to pilot a giant mechanical robot suit and duke it out with other mechs in outer space, meow? Well, you still can, but you can get closer than you ever have before, meow. This 18-meter, about 60 feet tall robot is modeled after a figure in the popular anime Mobile Suit Gundam, a Japanese cartoon which first launched in the late 1970s, meow. The cartoon featured these giant Gundams which were used as tools of war wielded by humans, meow. The robots will be featured as the centerpiece of the Gundam Factory Yokohama, a tourist attraction that opens on December 19th in the port of city of Yokohama, meow. Chief Cabinet Secretary Katsunobu Kato hopes that the Gundam will serve as a tourist attraction and stimulate the Japanese tourism industry, meow. As the press release was published on the existence of this robot and its viewing open to the public was confirmed, a low drum could be heard around the world as anime weebs from every corner of the universe started their first ever pilgrimage to Yokohama to meet their first Mecca, meow. For those who may not know what a pilgrimage is a journey which is often made into an unknown foreign place where a person goes in search of a new or expanded meaning of themselves, meow. It's exciting to see so many weebs take such an interest in self-betterment. However, as the pilgrimage has started, an increasingly worry trend has occurred, meow. None of them want to leave their houses, much less go out in public, unless they have their Mikasa Ackerman body pillows with them along with an adequate supply of heat tap. Chilled, of course, meow. It will be curious to see if any of the pilgrims even make it to their destination, but we here at the laboratory wish all the travelers the best of luck in their journey, meow. The laboratory would also like to take this time to let you know that the laboratory will be closed on December 19th and the company's jet will be in use. Also, no, you cannot have any of my heat tap. That is all, meow. Okay, I'm done with the meow. That was about 5 minutes through that story. So, next we move into the gaming news. And we are looking at Capcom, a very popular game. A very popular developer, which makes the Resident Evil series. Resident Evil 8 will be meatier than ever before. Butchers await review copies of the game to see just how meaty it will be. Capcom has produced some of the most popular games over their existence, many of those games belonging to the Resident Evil franchise, a franchise which focuses on zombies and evil biotech corporations, which are definitely not modeled after the laboratory. The order of the Resident Evil series currently sits at 7, with Resident Evil 8 to be released hopefully in 2021. According to Dusk Golem, one of the sources of many leaks about the Resident Evil games, Resident Evil 8 will be even meatier than the previous games. While we here at the laboratory might not fully understand what Dusk Golem means, we have concluded that they obviously mean the amount of meat in the game will be greater than ever before. If you thought the hamburger from the opening scenes of Resident Evil 2 Remake was thick, wait until you see Resident Evil 8's meat. We are expecting triple baconated levels of meat here, folks, like 5 pounds of meat in between those buns. This might also mean the zombies will be even meatier too. When they die, it will be like attending the yearly Meatapalooza in Meatopolis, where meat confetti will rain down from the sky as you walk around in your bacon boots eating a kebab made of meat. We do have some conceptual designs of what we might see in Resident Evil 8 across the varying graphics presets. Looking here, we can see the low graphics settings, and you can immediately see the increase in meat. Moving to medium, we can see there is a substantial amount of meat being rendered here, and it's quite high quality. If we increase the graphics all the way up to ultra, we can see RE8 in all of its glory. There's actually so much meat here, it's kind of hard to see the zombies or anything else. hopefully Capcom will work this out, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. While the meatiness of the game is exciting, butchers around the world are skeptical about the quality of the meatiness. Are we talking choice grade beef here, or something along the lines of Taco Bell kangaroo grade meat? While I cannot say myself, I'm sure the experts will get down to the bottom of these questions and show the world if the meat is worth the wait. I mean, just look how delicious this looks. It's so much prime meat. Just, it's great. It's great. So, moving on farther into the gaming industry, something you all might be excited about. Developer CD Projekt assures people that Cyberpunk 2077 is really, actually, definitely, 100% always, every time going to be released on December 10th. Many of you are aware of the new game from CD Projekt called Cyberpunk 2077, and fans around the world are biting at the bit to play the game. However, as the games industry has reminded us time and time again, no game is ever released without being delayed at least once. After the previous delays, many consumers became unsure of when Cyberpunk 2077, the Keanu Reeves experience, will release. To quell the consumers' and investors' concerns, though, CD Projekt has released a statement saying that Cyberpunk 2077 will, and I quote, really, actually, definitely be releasing December 10th. While many of you might be excited by this news, what you must note is the statement doesn't specify the year or the start date. So really, can we be sure of when the game will come out? I mean, like, 100% really always every time be coming out? No, you can't. We sincerely do hope that Cyberpunk 2077 Dalmatians will be hitting the store shelves soon, but we here at the laboratory will be sure to inform you as soon as we can if any more delays do surface. Yes, December 10th, 2077. It was in the name all along. This makes so much sense. So, we have another story that applies to the gaming industry today. This is actually something we reported on last week, but there have been some developments. eBay issues warning to scammers selling photos of popular Sony consoles. Scammers reply with, I mean, the photos are real. Last week, the laboratory reported on a worrying trend of scalpers selling the popular gaming consoles from Sony and Microsoft on eBay for exorbitant prices. While paying 200% to 400% more for a PS5 or an Xbox Series X is crazy, what if you paid the same amount for a picture of the same console? Well, that would just be... I didn't even have a word for it. It has been reported by Eurogamer that some people have bought what they thought was a PS5, but actually turned out to be a scandalous picture of the console inside of its box. This picture here shows a picture of the 1.5TB PS5 going for about £180. While this listing obviously states that it is a photo, even if for a crazy price, there are some listings which aren't so forgiving. One listing reads, brand new PlayStation V5 White 2020 / photo. And while you might think this listing is obviously just the photo, it seems some people have fallen for the trap and misread the intent of the sneaky listings. Some of these photos have obviously fake bids on them, but some of them have worryingly realistic bids of hundreds of dollars on them. This next listing, under the title of PS5, is actually not a PS5 at all, but actually an empty cardboard box. The seller is quoted in the description, "Here I am selling an artist's impression of how empty my life feels not owning a PS5. The seller continues to go on to explain that you will indeed get an empty box if you purchase this, and while this is kind of a cute and harmless gag, once you read deeper, maybe the seller shouldn't have put it under the listing of a PS5. If any of you might be looking at purchasing a console from eBay, please ensure that you read the product description thoroughly and be sure you are buying what you want before purchasing. We here at the laboratory want to make sure you make informed and accurate purchases." So, moving on to our last story for today. Though I do kind of want that box. I mean, it's £5.50, and it's you know, I could put it in a corner and sit in it. For reasons. Look, I like to sit in boxes, okay? That's why my bed is a box. With pillows in it. So, moving on to our last story. We have another story related to our wonderful shark overlord, Gawr Gura. Gawr Gura reaches 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Marine biologists are questioning the migration patterns of shrimp. Maybe they'd like to be eaten. And another amazing achievement, Gawr Gura, English Hololive talent, has surpassed 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Gura becomes the second VTuber ever to reach this milestone, and her achievement is incredible in such a short amount of time. But behind this amazing achievement is the more sinister plan lying in wait. After talking to many marine biologists and the migratory patterns of shrimp, it's worrying that so many shrimps have collected in one area. Shrimp normally have quite a very short life cycle and migrate into and out of estuaries, the tidal mouth of a large river, in just a few weeks in some cases. Many marine biologists are worried that this is a ploy to create one of the world's largest shrimp buffets, to which I respond, Gura, why wasn't I invited? I'm very offended. I like shrimp. Very much. Congratulations, though, on this achievement, though, Gura. I'm glad to see you have moved on from bloops burgers to consuming large quantities of shrimp. Just please be sure that all the shrimp doesn't go straight to your fins, you know. Gotta take care of your figure. Please. Alright, everyone. So that is it for our stories today. Thank you for watching this, another episode of NLBC News, and we hope that you all have a wonderful day.